Hi, I'm Jenna, an upholsterer and designer, and today I'm taking this thrifted piece of artwork and turning it into a hidden jewelry cabinet. I originally acquired this piece to cover an electrical panel in our home, but then I got to thinking, what else could I possibly cover with it? And that's how I came up with the idea of creating a hidden jewelry box. First things first, we need to take some measurements. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just measuring the length and the width of the framed artwork. These are the measurements we're going to use to cut the back panel of plywood and then each of the mitered corners to create the box, which we will be hiding the jewels in. Let's cut some boards. All right, I got my miter saw all set up to cut a 45-degree angle. Got my marks where I'm making the specific cut. All right, let's cut some boards. You know that old saying, measure twice, cut once. So I'm making sure that I'm getting my 45-degree angle lined up correctly. All right, this looks great. Gotta cut a few more boards. All right, now we have our cut piece of plywood, which is gonna act as the back of our jewelry box. We have our 4 pieces of mitered MDF board. So we're basically building a frame around this sheet of plywood. I'm gonna get my corners lined up. Right, now we're gonna nail the board into the side of the plywood. As a reminder, we cut each one of these boards to a 45-degree angle to create one 90-degree angle. One thing you want to keep in mind is you don't want to nail the box to your workbench. So make sure you get your gun nice and level and parallel to your workbench. All right, we got all 4 of our mitered edge boards nailed into place onto the back of this plywood, which has created us a box to hide our jewelry in. Now we're going to line the inside of the box with self-stick velvet drawer liner to just make it a little extra nice. So I'm just going to take it to the edge of the box, get it as straight as possible. Start at one end. Just lay it over the edge like this. You just start with the side where you have it already stuck to the board. And you're just going to slowly work your way back. Don't worry if it doesn't completely line up there. We can cut off any excess with razor blades. And then before you get it completely unpeeled right here, get as far in the corner as you can. And just make a rough cut. Okay, and we're gonna wait to cut off the excess until we get the rest of the velvet into the box. And I'm gonna cut a little piece to go right here, and I'm just gonna eye it. Right, we're gonna find the straight edge, not the one I cut, and we're gonna butt it directly up to the piece we just put in place. And again, if it lands and you don't like how it's lining up with your other piece, you can always move it. This stuff's pretty forgiving. Now we're gonna go around the inside edge and cut off all the excess before we add velvet to the sides. So you just put the corner of the razor blade in the seam of the wood and just follow it. Grab another razor blade because that one's getting dull from running against the particle board. corners are definitely the most tricky part. It's just easier to pull it up. Take your scissors and we're just gonna cut a 90-degree angle. You'll notice that I'm not measuring out my drawer lining cuts. There's really not any reason to, because the drawer liner itself has a straight edge. So just eye it, cut enough that you have some excess over the edge, because we're going to stick it into place and then cut off the excess on the bottom and along the top. I'm running the drawer liner up over the jewelry box edge, as this will help quiet the sound as the picture frame closes on the box. Is this overkill? Absolutely. However, it's going to make this thrift flip that much more high-end looking. One last piece. All right, the inside of our new jewelry box is completely lined with the self-adhesive black velvet drawer liner. Now I'm gonna take a black marker and cover up all the little wood grain areas that you're seeing. Using the marker on the seams will automatically make it look like you perfectly lined every corner. Now that we have the inside of the new jewelry cabinet lined with the black velvet drawer liner, we're going to attach the two brass hinges. So right now I'm just figuring out the placement of the hinges. I've marked the center of the longest side, and then I'm just basically going to eye from the center mark and center each of the brass hinges between the two areas. And I'm going to tape each one of them in place so I know exactly where the drill holes need to be. Let's drill some holes. Got all of our holes drilled. Now we're going to screw in the little Phillips head screws. Start in the middle-ish. We got both of the hinges attached to the box that we built for the jewelry. Now we're going to attach the vintage artwork to the box. I'm going to go grab a second pair of hands because I'm going to need someone to hold the box while I drill the holes into the artwork. We've got the vintage artwork in place where we want it for the hinges. I'm going to take a pencil and mark each one of the holes where I'm going to drill. This is Jen, by the way. Another pair of 4 eyes. Now we've got our holes pre-drilled. I'm gonna screw them in. Look at this. Hidden jewelry box. Okay, now we need to add our hooks. If you love this project, click the like button below, and for more thrift flips, follow HGTV.